To give you some examples, there have been some research that have been done recently, and what they found is that 275% of users are more confident to act on what they've learned when they used virtual reality as opposed to e-learning. Virtual reality is 4 times faster than classroom training in terms of that skills and knowledge acquisition. And users that consume virtual reality content are 4 times more focused than e-learning because of the immersive and the engaging nature of virtual reality.
Mehdi, thank you so much for coming on my show, the Mike Saraswat Show. Super excited to have you with us to talk to us a bit more about all the great technology that you guys are doing at VRtuoso. So over to you. Give us a little idea of who you are and what is the amazing stuff you guys are up to.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much for inviting me to be on your show. I know it's been a long time coming, so I'm really happy to have this chat with you today. So we've been live now for about 2.5, 3 years, with only a year and a half of having a commercial product. And primarily our ethos is about democratizing virtual reality to allow, subject matter expert people like you and I to be able to create really immersive, engaging virtual reality presentations, and, presenting it real time as a guided experience to users and participants.
Fantastic. So do you know what's interesting is I think you are one of the few companies who have actually who are taking the VR virtual reality experience and really creating something rather useful. So people of advertising ilk like myself, we in the past have done big campaigns globally with VR and AR, and it's just always felt very gimmicky in the sense that it's a one-off stunt. But you guys are actually bringing it into the whole learning, training, which is fascinating because at the end of the day, it's an additional layer of experiencing the world, but also keeping engaged. I remember you said last time when we were talking that there was something, the statistics were insane in terms of how good the learning can be using tools like yours. Could you go a bit deeper into those?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to go into your points a little bit more, the reason why we've had successes is because we approach it from an educational and learning and development viewpoint when we developed VRtuoso and all the features that we have today. All of us come from an L&D background, whether it is instructional design or learning technologies and learning ecosystems. So everything that we do at VRtuoso is with the end user in mind. So what we try to do is that the end user is an active participant when it comes to consuming virtual reality presentations, and not a mere passive recipient of knowledge, because then, they're not getting the skills acquisition and the knowledge acquisition that they need. So in terms of the successes that we've had over the last year and a half have been really tremendous. Recently, we hit 2 major milestones in terms of we delivered 500,000 hours of VR training across all of our clients. Yeah. Wow. And, all of our clients combined have delivered training and presentation to over 1 million users globally. So again, these are tremendous milestones to hit in, as I said, in 18 months of VRtuoso. And what we've seen, this year is a 240% increase year on year in terms of revenue growth for VRtuoso. And this is mainly due to, unfortunately, the current pandemic that we're going through. A lot of organizations cannot deliver classroom training. E-learning is, the blended digital learning is the alternative method, but it's been around for a long time, and it's not as engaging and as immersive as virtual reality. To give you some examples, there have been some research that have been done recently, and what they found is that 275% of users are more confident to act on what they've learned when they used virtual reality as opposed to e-learning. Virtual reality is 4 times faster than classroom training in terms of that skills and knowledge acquisition. And users that consume virtual reality content are 4 times more focused than e-learning because of the immersive and the engaging nature of virtual reality.
Some very interesting points, and I think I'll pick on a couple of them. Just for the purpose of the users who are watching it, it'd be lovely to understand, how or what types of content, because I think the imagination, even though VR is such a great platform, but for a person who hasn't used it, what kind of uses in terms of content they can use it in, especially for the kind of stuff you're doing for training and learning?
Sure. So there is a variety of use cases for virtual reality. I'll summarize a few of them that some of our clients use it for. So I'll split them into two categories. First category is anything that's HR, learning and development and training. So think about induction, health and safety training, a day in the life of, mainly onboarding. So, especially now with COVID, people cannot travel to different locations, to different warehouses, especially manufacturing plants. So what some of our clients do is they bring those plants and they bring those buildings and environments to the user. So the user is able to explore those environments in a really engaging and immersive way. What differentiates us from the rest of the market is that we're the only organization out there that really created a new approach to live VR content creation and real-time guided content consumption. So users are not just consuming the content in an offline mode, but presenters are able to send the content and get the content to the users in a real-time environment, live VR. So anything also such as soft skills. So one of our clients have a change behavior program. They film scenarios and people go through those scenarios in an immersive virtual reality presentation world, whereby they see different behaviors of people as part of that change behavior program. And then on the other aspect to the spectrum, anything that's around sales enablement, marketing and operations, whereby some of our clients have actually, we've all been part of, replying and filling in RFI and RFP documents and presenting them in a PowerPoint and doing a quick demo. One of our clients have actually incorporated VRtuoso as part of their sales enablement, whereby every single bit that they have to present to a client, an aspect of that or part of that response will have to be done using VRtuoso in a virtual reality immersive way. And what they've seen is they've seen a 6% increase for bids that they presented using VRtuoso as opposed to the ones that they haven't. And again, so these are some of the metrics that people can, look at and think, actually, it is time to start looking into to virtual reality seriously, because let's face it, VR has been around for a long time. And as you correctly mentioned, some people see it just as a wow factor, as a tick in a box in terms of innovation, new technologies that they need to try, but they really were not bought into the genuine benefits of virtual reality, and especially the immersiveness and the engaging that it creates. So, some of these KPIs, we are able to present it to a lot of our clients as genuine metrics on how they can improve the skills, the knowledge acquisition, or on the other side, how they can genuinely improve sales, improve marketing and operational efficiencies.
That's amazing. You also mentioned earlier about keeping people engaged and interested, and I think a lot of learning tool platforms, whether they're internal learning tools or platforms or external, I think one of the biggest challenges is once you have a learner there, how do you keep them engaged? And you have some amazing stats, as you mentioned earlier, about how, X percentage stay more on your platform, learn more, complete more. Why do you think that is? Is it us as humans just like things presented in a different way? We just want to be entertained, or what is it? Why do you think that is?
That's a great point, because I was reading an article not linked to virtual reality or learning. Actually, the article was around, we are entering a phase where we want to be entertained more than we want to be educated. Right. So if I take that analogy and actually put it into the world of learning, human beings, whenever someone position a new technology or new way of deliver learning to us, we're more than likely to try it, right? what we find across our clients, we've done a survey in the last stretching for 6 months. We find that our clients have, on average, a 96% completion rate and a 94% satisfaction rate.
Wow.
The reason behind that is because the VRtuoso platform allows really engaging functionalities to be created. And because of the real-time guided live VR consumption, the presenter has full control of where people are looking. He can center, or he or she can center everyone's views, can engage with them using different functionalities such as live drawing, such as, the red eye, where he's able to see what they're looking at, to make sure that whenever people going through this VR presentation, they are doing that with full knowledge that the ultimate point is for them to acquire skills and knowledge, and not just to be entertained as such. So and also, if I may add, one of the other reasons that we see a high number of people complete modules and presentations using VRtuoso is because it creates a genuine, collaborative, and engaging, fun environment for all the users in a cohort to communicate amongst themselves, to engage with the presenter, so they can, they find that learning environment really fun place to be, to help them with that knowledge acquisition.
That's very interesting, because I think as a society we are moving towards I think two great challenges that I believe in. I wrote something some time back about whether we as a society are either too young or too old in the workplace, and never just right, and which it kind of reflects on lack of training on both sides of that spectrum. And I think virtual reality and tools like yours at VRtuoso could really help people become more meaningful at key stages of their lives. And I think that that's very interesting, especially when you look at the size of big companies. Some companies have anything over 5,000, 10,000 employees, and suddenly you are looking at the costs. I presume, you guys would have stats that it'll take to get rid of people or hire new people. How about retraining the existing staff and sort of upskilling them? And I think that on its own is a huge challenge. Do you find that a lot of the bigger brands or larger employers are willing to have these conversations? And if not, what are their biases or kind of pain points as such that they don't want to have these conversations?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's great that you mentioned around, the different generations in the workplace today. There's been a study recently that's submitted to show that today is the first time ever in a workplace where we have 5 different generations. Right? And when I talk about generations, I talk about, age as well as mindset.
Correct,
too.
Yeah.
So this really creates a big challenge for L&D leaders and chief learning officers, because whatever they create as part of their learning curriculum, it really needs to be multimodal. Right? It needs to be a combination of face-to-face, digital, coaching, webinars, bite-sized learning, immersive learning, where VR falls into, to really create personalized learning journeys. One size fits all in learning doesn't work anymore. In fact, I don't think it's ever worked. Tick in a box type learning doesn't really work. So this is why the vast majority of organizations that we talk to, and all of our clients are, big, large chip multinational organizations that, either tried VR in the past, didn't succeed because there wasn't a real use case for it. They just wanted to try it. And we know when you don't have a solid business case or a solid use case for any new technologies, it is bound to fail, right? Because you haven't thought about what problem am I looking to solve.
Correct.
And then think about the technology that you need to solve that particular problem.
Correct.
They did it the other way around. They invest in a technology and say, okay, now let's go and find a problem to solve. Yeah. And it's not going to work that way. So part of the sales cycle, we'd like to educate and, talk to clients about, the steps that they need to follow. And if, someone comes to us and say, hey, I just want to try VR, we don't want to, sell them our services and our product only for it to fail in the first, 6 months. So we'd rather prolong the sales cycle, but help the clients, educate them onto the various use cases, and we share with them various use cases that some of our clients use VRtuoso for. So we help them in that education process. And what we find afterwards is that once they find a solid use case, we help them build the material. We help, train them and empower them on how to use VRtuoso, all the different functionalities, the different modalities, how to deliver learning live as well as offline, to genuinely deliver a transformation within the business and help solve a problem within the organization. And also what I like to refer to my clients is the learning and the flow of work, right? Learning is not rigid as it used to be, in a way that, okay, block X number of days to go through a program, or block X number of hours to go through a particular, compliance training. A lot of learners now want to actually learn to solve a specific problem they have, whether it's around, if we're talking about soft skills like time and priority management, project management skills, help me how to deal with conflict within the organization. So it's really bite-sized learning that they're looking for. And virtual reality is really perfect for that, because it immerses you in these real-life scenarios that you are able to see everything in a 360 degree to help you solve that particular problem that you have and help you acquire the skill that you need. And again, I'm going to link it to some studies and some research that's been done. Virtual reality and immersive learning in general has helped increase staff retention by 75 to 90%. Now, when we're talking about, reskilling and retraining existing employees, this is really important, because what organizations want to see is that the period of onboarding is as small as possible, because the employee needs to start contributing to the organization. And, immersive learning normally reduces training time by 40% when you compare it to the exact same learning interventions that have been done in a face-to-face or in an e-learning basis.
That's amazing. And so in terms of, again, people watching this video, if they are thinking of implementing VR or learning through VR and think of VRtuoso, tell me a bit more about integration. You said about the workflow. Tell me a bit more about the content, the hardware and the software. So what all do they, would you guys help them build the content, or you have libraries? How does it work? Or both ways? And then what's the hardware, and then what's the software?
Brilliant. So VRtuoso is a cloud-based solution, and we are able to integrate with all LMSs. So it becomes an authoring tool within a learning management system, or a learning digital platform, or a learning experience platform. These new type learner-centric platforms, change their names every 3 to 6 months. Yeah. Depends on which analyst you talk to. Sure. You'll have different names for them. So we are able to integrate with all learning management systems, and we become an authoring tool within their portfolio of learning technologies to create immersive virtual reality presentations and training modules. And these modules can be hosted within their learning ecosystem as well. So me as a user, I can consume that content exactly the same as if you were to create an e-learning module using Articulate or Captivate and host it within your learning platform. Exactly the same for virtual reality and VRtuoso. So again, it's that ease of use for organizations, because let's face it, a lot of these organizations have many portals, like a learning record system, LMS, learning digital platform, learning experience platform. So we're able to integrate with these, so there is a seamless single sign-on in place, whereby they're not leaving their ecosystem to go to a standalone solution again, and create content and be it hosted somewhere else. It's all a seamless experience for learning experts to create virtual reality presentations. The VRtuoso content can be consumed in 3 different ways. You can use the virtual reality headsets, and we're compliant with platform agnostic as well. So you can use any VR headsets that you purchase, that you already have, or that you're looking to purchase. You can consume the content using a mobile app, whether it's on a phone or whether it's a tablet, or using a web browser. which doesn't lose any of the 360 immersive experience as well. The way we work with the clients is a genuine partnership, whereby we have an implementation plan at the start of our relationship, where we train them and empower them on how to use VRtuoso and all its functionalities, and we help deliver their first VR presentation with them. The vast majority of our clients, they love that approach, and what we encourage people to do is for us to train and empower them on how to use VRtuoso by themselves, for them to create their presentations and their training modules. Exactly the same as an e-learning authoring tool, whereby the idea is the learning experts are able to create their own modules, and it doesn't necessarily mean just for learning. As I said at the start of our chat, our ethos is to democratize virtual reality content creation. So subject matter experts, people like you and I, are able to use VRtuoso to create our own virtual reality presentations.
Makes sense. So now tell me a bit more about somebody who kind of asks you a question, says, okay, I deliver my learning X way, and you're saying by using this VR technology, it will help retention, engagement, attendance, collaboration, all sorts of things. Could you point out one example, without sort of NDA kind of content, but one example of type of training which was done before VR was integrated, and then once you brought VRtuoso VR in, how did that change?
Sure. I'm going to reuse the example I used previously, where one of our clients uses VRtuoso for their sales enablement. So, what they've done is within a 6-month period, they use VRtuoso as part of their bids.
And is it to show their factory, or is it to show their office or machinery, or?
So this is to showcase their solution.
Okay.
So they're in a construction business, and they, and they pitch to builders, house builders. So companies like Taylor Wimpey and other house builders. Mm-hmm. So what they've done is for a period of 6 months, every single pitch they had, they used VRtuoso as part of a blended approach to deliver that presentation and that bid. So to bring to life their solution in a genuine, immersive, engaging 360 environment. They compare that to another 6 months of their success rates, and they've seen that their success rate has improved by 6%. Right, and that 6%, they were able to put a pound figure against it, where they helped generate, I think it was £1.1 million difference to the period where they didn't use VRtuoso as part of their sales enablement. So this is, again, a great use case of an organization that were able to use KPIs to justify the use of VRtuoso. And since then, they rolled out the VRtuoso solution across all their business.
Makes sense. That's amazing. Great example. And in terms of the future for VRtuoso, where do you think you guys are going over the next couple of years?
The future is very busy at VRtuoso. So, as I said, over the last 6 months, it's been our busiest time since we started. We've seen growth of 240%. We acquired over 16 new clients just in the last 6 months, because people needed to deliver, learning, needed to deliver, training and knowledge and skills acquisition in a completely different way, as opposed to the face-to-face interventions. Going forward, we work very closely with all our clients. In terms of the product roadmap internally, we have some new features that we're going to be launching in the next 3 months, where we will be doing a big PR push on that. Maybe we can have another chat in 3 months to discuss the new features that we're launching.
Amazing. And in general, as a final question, where do you see this industry going with regards to learning and development? Do you think of yourself as a technology company enabling learning, or do you see yourselves as a training and a learning company enabled by technology?
That's a great question. It's one of those, the chicken come before the egg type of question. The way I see our industry going, especially in the learning and development and training and HR world, is that virtual reality is going to be standard modality to deliver learning, right? It's not going to be a luxury. It's not going to be a one-off. It really is going to be a part of the learning ecosystem. We're going to see a lot of learning management system companies that integrate, virtual reality as part of their solution. Because if you think about LMSs and learning digital platforms, within them, there are a lot of organizations that already provide a e-learning authoring tool, right? So the way I see our industry going is on top of and aside of the e-learning authoring tool, they're going to have a virtual reality authoring tool that they will integrate with for the client to be able to, create their learning interventions based on, a multimodal approach, not just this is just face-to-face e-learning. This is the way that we always describe blended learning. It's a mixture of classroom learning as well as e-learning. Whereas now with companies like VRtuoso and how we're making it easy for people to create their own content, a blended approach means a multimodal of delivering learning content, not just face-to-face and e-learning.
Brilliant. I love that. Love that. Great answer. Well, thank you so much for speaking to me, Mehdi. I think this was one of the first couple of interviews that we will have, and as we track your journey over the years. But no, thank you for speaking to me. Really enjoyed talking to you.